Hi, my name is Whitney and I work on Google's Let's Put Our Cities on the Map team. Today, my colleague Stasia will be teaching you about tools from Google that can help you grow your business online. I'd grab a pen and paper for note-taking because she is covering a lot of information in a short amount of time. So take note of the tools that would be the most useful for your business. I hope you learn a lot and have a great time. Here's Stasia.
Welcome to today's workshop, Grow Your Business Online. My name is Stasia, and I'll introduce many of Google's products that can help your business grow and succeed online. This presentation covers three broad areas. First, I'll talk about how Google Search works. I'll show you where your business can appear on Google search results and give you some tips to increase your visibility online. I will also cover the importance of being found across multiple devices, particularly smartphones. Next, I'll talk about using Google's tools to get insight, including insight into visitor behavior on your website, insight into how people search Google, and a way to monitor topics that interest you as they are published online. I'll close the workshop by introducing Google Apps for Work, a suite of cloud-based office productivity tools. Let's get started. Every single day, there are billions of searches on Google. You can think of each search as an opportunity for a business or organization to present its website as the answer to a searcher's question in that critical moment when the searcher wants to learn, discover, find, and buy things. All businesses, no matter what size, stand to benefit from an online presence. In this section, I'll cover how Google Search works, an introduction to search engine optimization, some tips for promoting your website, an introduction to search engine marketing, and getting found on mobile devices. I like to kick off each section explaining why it's important for your business. So why is it so important to be found on Google? Well, according to research, 97% of consumers use the web to find local goods and services. That's just about everyone. So just being online isn't enough. You need to be found. If someone searches for your business or the products and services you sell and you don't show up, you're essentially digitally invisible. Before we can strategize about ways to get found online, it's useful to review the organization of a search engine results page so you can see the ways your business can appear on Google. Searchers type in the words and phrases to find things that they want. This is called the search query. In this example, you see that the searcher typed in the query, squirrel-proof bird feeders. Google displays the most relevant results it can find based on the search query and any information it has about the searcher. Here's my first challenge to you. Do some searches on Google, looking for your business and your products and services, and see what shows up. Can your website be found? If yes, that's great. If not, jot down the searches that you're not appearing on. Next, take a step back and imagine a searcher needs your help, but they don't know the name of your company. So the search queries that they type in might be more generic. Can your website be found? If yes, again, that's great. But if not, add them to the list of searches that you're not appearing on. This is the start of your to-do list. One of your ongoing goals should be to help Google understand that these words and phrases are relevant to your business and that your website is a good match when potential customers search for them. We'll talk about how to do that in a bit. Now let's look at the results on the page. This page points out the natural or organic results on a search results page. From now on, we'll call this a SERP for short. Every time someone searches, Google generates a SERP that connects the searcher with the right results in the right moment. SERPs may show different results for the same search query depending on who is searching. So a person in California may see different results than a searcher in North Dakota, Maine, or Texas. You can't pay Google for higher placement in the organic results, and clicks on these links do not cost the owners of the website any money. If you look directly above the organic search results or on the right side of the page, you may see ads served by Google's advertising programs, ADWORDS and ADWORDS Express. You can see text ads and image ads for product listings. These are paid placements. Advertisers compete against each other for ad spots on the page. Advertisers are not charged when ads appear. They pay only if searchers click the ads. That's why you'll often hear this advertising referred to as pay per click or cost per click. Advertising with Google gets visitors to your website, but it won't impact your position in the organic results. These are two entirely separate algorithms. Many of you have heard of SEO, which stands for Search Engine Optimization. SEO is the process of making a website more visible and more relevant to search engines. The goal? To appear more prominently in the search engine results. Let's talk about a few things you can do to help your website be found in the search results. First, add content. Help Google understand what you're all about by publishing keyword-focused content that's relevant to the theme of your website. You can use that list of words and phrases you started compiling to help you get started. The goal is to include information on your site that helps Google understand your products, services, or mission. But remember, you're writing for humans too, so make sure that the content is useful and interesting for site visitors. Another way to help is to keep your website up to date. A website with up-to-date content is a resource worth sharing. As people learn about your site and find interesting information, they might pass it along to others. One easy way to keep your site fresh is to incorporate a blog. Your site updates don't have to be elaborate. A post might be a photograph, a testimonial, a seasonal tip, or a link to an article or another site that impacts your customers. There's no rule for how often you should do it, but try to update your site as often as you can. Try to get into the habit of making updates on a schedule that makes sense for your business. Let's talk about our first service from Google called Google Search Console, formerly called Webmaster Tools. Search Console helps you monitor and maintain your website's presence in Google's organic search results. Here are a few things you can do with Search Console. You can make sure that Google can access your website. You can submit new content and remove content that you don't want shown in the search results, and you can monitor your site for problems. Search Console shows you how Google and the world sees your website. For example, you can see reports that tell you which queries caused your site to appear in the search results, which websites link to your site, and if your site works well on mobile devices. And there's lots more. Search Console is free. You can access it at www.google.com/webmasters. Finally, don't rush this. SEO is an incremental process, and you should see improvement over time. Don't try to speed up the process by stuffing extra keywords into your website or using other sneaky techniques to get your site indexed faster. Let's talk about a few other ways to promote your website. Email is one of the most efficient and cost-effective ways to communicate with your target audience. This assumes you have a quality email subscriber list, people who have given their email addresses and requested email from you, or your existing customer base. Be careful not to overwhelm them with too much email. How many of you begin your day by grabbing a cup of coffee, scanning your email, and then deleting most of them because you wouldn't have time to read them all? I'll bet that's a lot of you. Keep this scenario in mind before you send your email. Before you click the send button, ask yourself, is there a good reason for every recipient to open this email? If not, you risk people immediately deleting your emails or worse, unsubscribing altogether. Social media is another great way to promote your business online. You can use it to develop relationships with fans and customers and learn more about what they think of your products and services. You can also use social media in very practical ways to actively grow your business. A friend of mine owns a massage therapy spa. If she has a last-minute cancellation, social media helps her communicate to her fans, who can share with their connections, that she has an unexpected opening. The messaging might be, I had a 3 p.m. cancellation and I'll offer a $20 discount to anyone who can take that slot. If you're just getting online, you probably have been relying on offline assets to run your business. You can now use them to promote your website. Do an inventory of all your stuff, like written estimates, invoices, packaging, business cards, gift certificates, storefront signage, and vehicles. Now, add your website URL to everything. That can help customers, existing and new, find you online. Here's another tip. Ask people to write reviews. More and more people use online reviews to help make purchasing decisions. You can help by asking your happy customers to write about their experiences with your business. There are many places to do this online, including on Google. But what about negative reviews? It's inevitable that at some point an online review will be a complaint, legitimate or not. You can't remove reviews from Google. They only come down if they violate one of Google's content policies. But you can respond in a timely, professional manner. Think of it as publicized customer service, a way to address concerns, explain company policies, or help correct an issue. I'll close these tips with a question I ask all businesses, large and small. If someone visits your website today, do they have any reason to return tomorrow, or next week, or next month? In many cases, the answer is no. Your website can be so much more than an online brochure. One of your challenges is to develop your site into a resource that brings people back. You might add a weekly coupon, a monthly giveaway, or write a funny blog. If you build a website, they will probably come, assuming they can find it. But you have to give them reasons to come back again and again and again. Now that I've covered organic results and some tips for promoting your site, let's talk about advertising. This is called search engine marketing, or SEM. Google has two options, AdWords and AdWords Express. Both use a pay-per-click model, which means that advertisers do not pay to show ads, they pay for clicks on the ads. AdWords is the full-featured advertising platform. It has all the bells and whistles. Large companies or advertisers who want to show ads in many geographic areas or use advanced features typically use AdWords. AdWords Express is a simplified platform designed specifically for businesses with limited time and resources to manage an advertising program. AdWords and AdWords Express work the same way. A searcher types in a search query describing what he or she wants to know, go, buy, or do. Google displays the results, a list of online resources that can help the searcher find what he or she is looking for. The searcher sees a good match, in this case an advertisement, and that clicks through to the advertiser's website. One of the most important takeaways on this slide is that Google's job is to connect the searcher with the advertiser's site. But when the searcher gets there, the website has to close the deal. Here's another to-do for everyone listening today. Think about what it is that you want people to accomplish on your website, no matter how they get there. That might be buy a product, or fill out a form, or watch a video, or find a phone number. Now, take a fresh look at your website. You want it to be fast and easy for visitors to accomplish these goals. If it's not, add that to your to-do list and make it a priority. This slide compares and contrasts AdWords and AdWords Express. They have many similarities, a pay-per-click model, ads on Google Search, ads on related websites, and mobile ads. With AdWords Express, however, ongoing management is automated, and you don't have to have a website. If you're not sure which option makes the most sense for your business, you can talk to an AdWords specialist. They can offer free setup support for customers committing to $10 per day or more in ad budget for 3 months or more. Phone support operating hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Now that we've covered search engine optimization and search engine marketing, let's talk about one more important topic that applies to both: reaching customers on multiple devices, especially mobile. 4 in 5 consumers use search engines to find information about places nearby, like store addresses, business hours, product availability, and directions. And more people search the internet from their smartphones. So what's the takeaway? Your website must be findable and usable on any device. Another item for your to-do list is to make sure your website is mobile friendly. What does that mean exactly? Well, the site needs to be designed to work on small screens. It needs to be thumb-friendly, that is, easy to use and navigate from a mobile device. Your text needs to be large enough and dark enough to read. And to go back to my journalism days, don't bury the lead. That is, keep the most important information at the top of the web pages, so visitors don't have to scroll a long way down to find what they're looking for. Google has a free resource to help, the Mobile-Friendly Test. It's available at www.google.com/webmasters/tools/mobile-friendly. Simply enter your URL and the report will show you how your website stacks up. The tool looks at 5 factors. Does the site avoid software that's not common on mobile devices like Flash? Is the text readable without zooming? Does the site fit in the screen so visitors don't have to scroll horizontally or zoom? And are links far enough apart so that they can be easily tapped? Check out your site and see if you need to make any changes for mobile. This is also important for your visibility in Google search results on mobile searches. Google considers mobile usability as a factor. The next topic is getting unique insights. Let's take a look at some free tools from Google that can help you get a clearer picture about what people are doing online. You can use this information to make decisions that can help you grow your business. In this section, I'll start by explaining why tracking matters, and then I'll introduce 3 tools that can help you grow your business: Google Analytics, Google Trends, and Google Alerts. Imagine that this box represents visits to your website last month. At the bottom, you see activity in red. This activity represents website visitors who converted. In online marketing, a conversion happens when a visitor completes a desired action on your website. For example, if you have an e-commerce site, you could record a conversion after a visitor makes a purchase. If your site is used to generate leads, you could record a conversion after a visitor submits a form requesting information. Website conversion rates are often in the low single digits. Let's say that this example site has a 2% average overall conversion rate. That means that 98% of the visits during this month did not result in a conversion. So here's your next challenge: figuring out how to turn those missed opportunities into sales. To do that, you'll probably need to make changes to your website. But how can you make improvements to your site if you don't know what people are doing there? Enter our next product, Google Analytics. To begin to understand why some visitors aren't converting on your website, you need to understand what they did or didn't do when they got there. This is called website analytics data, and you can use it to better understand the strengths and weaknesses of your site. Google offers a free analytics tool called Google Analytics. It may be free, but it's powerful. Some of the largest brands and websites in the world use it, and hundreds of thousands of websites now rely on Google Analytics to understand visitor behavior. Google Analytics includes a huge suite of customizable reports. Each report can help answer questions about the effectiveness of your website. One way to approach using the tool is to ask business questions and then use the reports to find the answers. You might want to know things like, what are people interested in reading on my site? You could see what web pages people are looking at and how much time they spend there. This can help you understand what content your visitors are interested in and help you decide what content to then add to your site. You might want to know where people are exiting your site. So once you find that out in the reports, you can make sure people aren't getting stuck. If you learn that people are leaving at a natural closing point, you might try adding something to convince them to stay longer, or then to make a purchase or to return another day. And if you have an e-commerce site, you might want to learn about their shopping activity. Google Analytics can show you what happens during the shopper's journey through your website, including at what stage people abandon their shopping carts. And if you advertise with Google, that data integrates into Google Analytics reports, so you can measure the effectiveness of your ad campaigns. To sum up, Google Analytics reports can help you make smart decisions about your site, design, content, and functionality. You can learn more or sign up at www.google.com/analytics. Let's look at another tool that can help you grow your business online called Google Trends. It's a free web-based tool available at www.google.com/trends. So what does Trends do? It shows the relative popularity of different keywords searched on Google over time. The data is presented in a graph on a scale of 0 to 100, with 100 representing the peak search volume. If it has enough data, Trends can show related news headlines, a forecast of search volume, related popular searches, and rising searches, searches experiencing significant growth. So how can you use Google Trends? Lots of ways. You can use it to refine your marketing messages by comparing the popularity of different words and phrases. You can use Trends to determine seasonality of different searches. With data going back to 2004, you can see when people are searching for different words and phrases and how that changes over the course of the year. The reports show you where searches happen geographically. This can be useful when you're working on advertising campaigns for different areas. You can also see related searches, which are broken down into top searches and rising searches. Top searches are the words and phrases most frequently searched with the term you entered during the same search session in the same category and in the same country or region. Rising searches are terms searched with the word or phrase you entered that experienced significant growth in volume during the time period. If you see breakout, it means that the volume for that search term grew by more than 5,000%. If you're short on time and want to start with one quick tip from today's workshop, this might be your choice: Google Alerts. This free service tracks what's being published on the web and sends you an alert when it finds something that interests you. Here's how it works. You enter words or phrases that you'd like to track. This might include the name of your business, your products, services, your proper name or employee names, your competitors, or important industry terms. When Google Alerts finds new online content that's a match, it sends an email with a headline, excerpt, and a link to the source. You can track up to 1,000 terms and receive alerts once a day, once a week, or as it happens. Sign up at www.google.com/alerts. Let's talk about one last Google product that can help you grow your business online. Called Google Apps for Work, it's a suite of office productivity tools that includes web-based email, calendars, and documents that you can access from anywhere. In this section, I'll give you an overview of Google Apps for Work, including some features and benefits, and I'll give you an overview of some of the included products. How many people have ever heard of cloud computing? It's a popular industry term these days, but many people don't understand what it means. Put simply, it means that your data, including email, contacts, calendars, and documents, don't live on your computer. Instead, data is securely stored on servers, the cloud, that can be accessed from anywhere. So if your laptop is lost or crushed, you won't lose your work. You can get all your stuff by signing in with your username and password from another computer that has internet access and a web browser. There is no software to install, maintain, or upgrade. All the technical details are handled by Google Apps. Here are 5 more reasons to try it out. Your work is automatically backed up, so you don't need to worry if your computer crashes. You can get your stuff on any computer and any laptop, tablet, or mobile device. As long as it has internet access and a web browser, you can access your app's account. Collaboration is easy. You can share documents and calendars with anyone you like, inside and outside of your business. It's private and secure. The data belongs to you. And it can save you money because it's very cost-effective. Let's take a look at features and pricing. You can try out Google Apps for free for 30 days. No credit card is required to start the trial. If you decide to use apps, there's no minimum commitment, startup fees, or cancellation fees. Each user account includes an email account powered by Gmail with 30 gigabytes of storage for your email and documents. Google Apps for Work has 24/7 phone and email support and a service level agreement that guarantees 99.9% uptime. That means that as long as you have internet access and a device with a web browser, you can access your stuff 99.9% of the time. There are special editions of Google Apps for education, government entities, and nonprofits as well. This chart compares the 2 available Apps for Work plans. The standard Apps for Work plan costs $5 per month per user or $50 per year per user plus tax. The unlimited plan costs $10 per month or $120 per year per user plus tax. For that extra $5, each user gets unlimited storage or 1 terabyte per user if there are fewer than 5 users in the organization. Let's take a look at a few of the products in the suite. Most people have used or at least know about Gmail, Google's free email program. Well, that's what Google Apps uses too. But unlike Gmail, your Google Apps for Work address doesn't have to be an @gmail.com address. Instead, you can set up email addresses using your own domain. For example, if you registered the domain name stasiasbakery.com, your email address could be sales@stasiasbakery.com. People who send you email or receive email from you won't know that it's powered by Gmail unless you tell them. Google Apps for Work includes a suite of productivity tools, including word processing, called Docs, spreadsheets, called Sheets, presentations, called Slides, and drawings and forms. The documents you create or upload are stored in Drive. Think of Drive as your online filing cabinet. Here are just a few cool benefits. With Google Apps, you can collaborate in real time. Multiple people can work on the same document at the same time from different locations. You can actually see who has the document open and watch as changes happen. These changes are automatically saved, and you can access revision history. This shows you who made the changes, and you can view or restore older versions of the document. Apps works with other popular formats, so you can import and export files into the format you need, like a Word document, Excel spreadsheet, PowerPoint presentation, or PDF. The last apps product I'll talk about is the calendar. Google Calendar has some really handy features to simplify your schedule. I'll tell it as a story. Let's imagine that we're all coworkers and I want to schedule a staff meeting. Using Google Calendar, I can view all across our shared work calendars to find a time that works for all of us. I create an agenda in Google Docs, I store it in Drive, and then I attach it to the calendar event. I know some of the staff will be traveling, so I assign a video chat via Google Hangouts so that they can join the meeting from their off-site location, from their computer, laptop, tablet, or mobile device. When I'm done, an email invitation is sent to everyone automatically via Gmail, which also handles the RSVPs. This scenario shows how seamlessly Apps for Work products work together. There are lots of other things that you can do too, like create appointment slots to let other people know when you're available. And you can control who can see your calendars. So you can make a calendar public, restrict it to your company, restrict it to specific people, or keep it private. Are you ready to try it out? You can get started at www.google.com/apps. Okay, I've covered a lot of ways Google can help you grow your business online. Let's do a quick recap. Here are some suggested next steps for the topics we covered in this workshop. Start by doing some searches on Google and see what turns up when you search for your business name, your products, and your services. Start working on a list of words and phrases that you'd like your business to appear on when people search. You can use this list to generate ideas for content for your website. Get in the habit of updating your site. Create a schedule that makes sense for your business and try to stick to it. Set up Search Console to get data, tools, and diagnostics for a healthy, Google-friendly site. If you'd like to try advertising on Google, check out AdWords and AdWords Express. And don't forget to make your site mobile-friendly. Try Google's free mobile-friendly test to see how your site works on a mobile device. Next, use Google Tools to get insights. Google Analytics can help you understand visitor behavior on your site. Google Trends shows you searcher behavior on Google, and Google Alerts helps you monitor things that matter to you when they appear on the web. Last but not least, try out Google Apps for Work. The first 30 days are free. Before using many of Google's products and services, you need to create or sign into a free Google account. A Google account is a username and password that lets you access connected Google products. For example, if you sign into Gmail, you don't need to sign in again to access the connected calendars, docs, or business listings. You can use a Gmail address or register another email address if you prefer. If you want to learn more about any of the topics covered in today's workshop, refer to this slide for the URLs. And of course, you can always do a Google search too. Thank you so much for listening.
Now that we've introduced some of Google's tools to help grow your business online, I imagine you want to get right to work. You might not need every tool mentioned. Start with the ones that can make the greatest impact on your business. And on behalf of the entire Let's Put Our Cities on the Map team, I wish you great success growing your business.